Audio on.
Go back to a black screen for a moment.
Oh, wait, we got some audio going now.
Got audio? I guess people let us know if we're on now. We did a little false start there. Hopefully the audio is working now.
I didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
Audio just started up.
Touch anything? Oh, okay. Maybe a little lag on the connection.
That's weird.
Hopefully somebody can let us know if you're hearing us.
If you're online, let us know if we have audio.
And we'll just take a moment here.
Take a moment here. I'm going to check this here.
We had a very animated start this week, and then maybe nobody heard it. That's rough.
Audio now. And there it is.
Hey, they got the audio.
Mr. Jeeves for the win.
Thank you.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
William.
I'm Emmy.
And Emmy's new to the show. She was gaming with us tonight, so she's going to join us. We're going to give her a quick training. Emmy, when you go to speak into the microphone, you got to get real close so the folks at home can hear you.
Put your mouth on it. Yeah.
And we're going to open up the phone line here.
And Emmy's my daughter. So just anybody who knows. Goes by her initials, as all three of my kids do. Emmy for Megan Elizabeth.
We never acknowledge her real name in public.
Oh, we do. Yeah, no, she only knows
It's
Emmy.
always the initials.
Emmy's all she knows.
It's just a Terminator.
All three of my kids just go by initials only since they were babies.
Terminator.
So Carlos is going to open up those phone lines, but we're back with our Thursday night call-in show, as we do every Thursday night. We want to hear from you about what you're playing, what you're hearing, stuff that's going on in the news. We've got a few things that we'll just chat about to fill in some time in between phone calls if we have to. But ideally, we'd like to hear from you. We want to know what you're doing. We want to spend this hour just kind of chatting about what you've been up to, what you played, what you've heard about, any questions you might have. And then, like I say, we'll just fill in space if we have to.
Yep. As you can see, the phone line's on the screen, 813-618-7099. That means the phone line is open. I'll put that up every time the phone line's open so you know when to call in. We were just playing some Betrayal.
Yeah, Betrayal Legacy. Yeah, Legacy version.
Which is why Emmy is with us today. Emmy's part of our campaign group for Betrayal Legacy. We are past the prologue into Chapter 1, and we got a call coming in.
Cool.
Oh, I can't even hear
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
This is Mitchell from Louisiana. What's up?
Hey, Mitchell.
Hello, Mitchell. Talk to me about what's going on in the big L.A.
Doing good.
Oh, L.A., that sounds like Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's L.A.
Acronym for
Whenever I hear L.A., I think
Louisiana.
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 It's a postal abbreviation.
One place has better food.
Yes, that is true. That's true. And actually, speaking of Louisiana, I'm calling to talk to you guys about a Louisiana board game.
Oh.
So there's a board game designer. He lives about an hour from where I live. He, I don't know him, but he's a friend of a friend, and he just had a Kickstarter game from Stronghold that delivered called Crescent City Cargo. It's the second game in what he calls the Cajun trilogy, and I got to play it last night at our board game night, and it was a lot of fun. I don't know how well known it is outside of Louisiana, you know. I think, their Stronghold's just doing a limited Kickstarter run, and they said they might do more later. But it's a worker placement game, but it's got a lot of really unique things in it. So it's set in New Orleans, the port of New Orleans, at the turn of the century. And there's a couple things this guy going for. So first of all, there's two different tracks that a worker moves around. But the interesting thing is this is basically a communal worker. So one of the actions you can take is you can pick up goods to ship out to the port. But you can only pick up goods next to the worker. So and he's called the warehouse manager. So if the previous worker moved him all around the board and he's not where you need to be anymore, it can kind of mess you up. And then there's a dock worker. And so you can only deliver your goods to the boats or the trains if he's in the same area. So there's that. It's really cool. It's you're both manipulating this worker and you have your own workers. Another thing I like is you have these little carts that you transport your goods in. And it's super thematic because you can't transport disc-like goods. So food goods can be on a cart together, or construction goods can be on a cart together, so it's almost kind of like a little puzzle. And another thing I like is that it has these tracks that they work well with the mechanics and the theme together, where if you're upgrading your forklift, that means you can pick up more goods, or your actions are determined by your morale. And so if you buy your workers better coffee, if you upgrade your coffee, then whenever you rest, the morale goes higher because the coffee wakes them up more. And so a lot of little interesting things together. It turns are super, super quick, but it takes a while a lot of turns to kind of do what you want to do, because it's there's these different roadblocks that you keep hitting with what you can do. So those tracks, for example, those admin tracks, the coffee and the cranes and stuff, you can only get up so high before you hit a wall, and then someone has to accomplish an achievement which will give them some type of benefit before you can go up to the next tier of it. And so you have to make this decision. It's like, do I want to do this achievement, which will give me a benefit, but at the same time, it's going to open up more possibilities for my opponent. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
and that's because of the communal aspect is the part about the helping out your opponents.
Right. It's like you're definitely playing your own game, but what's happening on the board is going to be affecting other people for the good or the bad. So you moving that worker, yeah, it could be screwing them up, but you could also be putting them closer to what they need to be picking up or dropping off. And so you have to really pay attention to what your opponents are doing and essentially be counterpicking. And it's really, I don't want to use the word tight in terms of worker placement, but so you have a lot of workers, but the vast majority of them, once you use them, they're done. They stay on the board and they don't come off except in one situation. So you have to really decide do I really want to do this action? And if I do, how am I going to get the next worker available?
Okay.
How far along are they?
I was just saying, is this game out? Because we're looking at BGG and all the pictures look like they're a prototype version.
That's what I was going to ask. They don't look like a completed game on there.
So it just fulfilled on Kickstarter, maybe a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So people are probably just starting to get them. So maybe that's why there's not anything fully up to date on it.
Yeah, and I see it unfortunately doesn't have a BGG rating yet either, which is a little unusual for a game that's out. But yeah,
I guess because it's a smaller thing, Okay. I think his first game they only did like a thousand prints of it. So this one I imagine might be something similar.
And you said it's a local.
I just wanted to show a little bit. Yeah. His name's Jason Dinger. He lives about an hour from where I live. He lives in Morgan City, a little bit south of here. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's a big deal around here. I wanted to spread the word about it elsewhere. I know it's kind of hard to get right now. Stronghold wasn't super forthcoming with what they were going to do with it after
you better
Kickstarter.
hit the fail button. Hit the fail button. Hit it.
What's that?
No,
Hit the fail button.
sorry.
Hit the fail button.
Open the drink and
You can't
it's
see
spilled
that.
everywhere.
Carlos just opened a drink and it's running all over the table. So
that's
he's
what
having a
you
little
get for
mini
winning.
disaster here. So
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
yeah, it's foaming all over the place.
It's on live, folks. Yes.
I see
Way to go.
the weight rating on here says a 3.0. Again, I mean, there's not much here about it, but it's that's definitely a little on the heavier
That is a heavier.
side. Yeah.
I know that it's still green when it says 3.0, but that's not green.
Yeah, there's some minutia, those tracks regulate how many cubes you can pick up and how many you can drop off, and how long you can go before you have to rest. So nothing is overly complicated in my opinion. It's just a lot of little things that you have to keep track of.
Okay.
My friend described it as kind of like you're doing micro actions each turn to get to where you need to get to. So
Gotcha.
I had a lot of fun with it. Another one, I don't think I brought this up, but I think I played this last week at our board game night. Trans-Siberian Railroad. Have I talked to you guys about that before?
Yes, you have.
I don't think I have.
Oh, I didn't think
did?
so.
Okay.
Okay, maybe. All right.
I heard that name before.
Well, it's a cube rail game, and your cube rail games, they're all pretty similar. You kind of like your almost like an 18xx things or whatever. But this is set in Russia, and so it's almost like a race against the clock. If your companies at a certain point in the game aren't worth a certain value, then
I remember talking about
the country takes it over.
Yep.
So it's
it becomes a public railroad at that
nationalized.
point?
Yeah, it's nationalized. So my buddies, the first time they played it, they were talking about how whenever that phase happened, none of their companies were worth enough, and the country just took all the companies and the game was over. The time that I played, we only had 2 companies survive. So it's kind of, not only you're fighting each other, but you're fighting the clock as well.
Is there player elimination? So once you get it taken away, the railroad's done?
Well, so you can only do actions if you have stock in one of the existing railroads. So it is possible, if you don't have the money to purchase the stocks, that you could effectively be done. Yeah.
That's tough.
So, yeah, it's tough for sure.
Yeah. Now that I'm seeing it, we did touch on that once before. I remember now that we pulled it up here on the BGG 7.2 rating, weight another 3.0 on the rating, on the weight rating. So that's
Mitchell likes them thick and
little
chunky.
heavy, a little on the heavy side, but that's not too heavy, but it's a little on the heavy side. But yeah, cool.
Yeah. So actually, that's other than games I've already mentioned, you guys. That's about all I've played in the past week. All my friends are out of
What
town
happened
this
to
week.
Oath?
Right, it's Thursday night. What's our Oath
Any
update?
Oath updates?
Connor is out of town this week. Everybody's out of town this week. I guess it's the end of summer, so I know I've been like having withdrawals from board games. I'm used to playing almost every day, and I haven't. Other than last night at board game night, I haven't played since I talked to you guys last week.
Wow.
So
that's just
it's a little sad.
Yeah, so we've been light as well. We were just talking about it before the show that between the three of us, we've played about 3 games in the last week, which is a little pathetic, but
Way
hey,
lighter than I expected.
yeah, life happens. Things come up, and some weeks we play 8 or 9 or 10. Some weeks we play 1 or 2. So as long as we're gaming, I guess that's all that matters, right?
Right, exactly. One thing I did just remember I want to mention. I don't even know if you guys know. Have you guys used Board Game Arena before? The website.
I have not. I know what it is,
of it,
but, yeah,
but we've only done like tabletop simulator.
Yeah, that's our big one.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, Asmodee acquired it a while back, and they've committed to putting a new game up there like every day, and they've been having some decent games put up there. Arnak's on there. My wife was playing Viticulture earlier. It's completely free, so
cool.
if you guys are ever hurting for it.
Is it
I'm
free?
not big into... Yeah.
I thought that was one of those pay-to-play.
No, that's Tabletopia. A lot of them you have to pay to play, but Board Game Arena is free. I think maybe you can have multiple games going if you pay.
Okay.
But no, it's free. I was playing Lost Ruins of Arnak online the other day with some random people from around the world. So
that's cool.
I might have to check that one out
then.
then.
In every few days to see what the new games are they're uploading. Some of them it's going to be like chess or some, but every few days they have a decent game that they put up there, and it's programmed, so it's not like TTS where you have to drag the stuff and all the rules are in there.
And that was a lot of concern about Asmodee purchasing it and then monetizing it, right? And controlling what games get put on it, because if it's not an Asmodee title, will they really still allow it in the system? Have you seen anything since you're a player of it? Have you noticed any changes, negative, because of Asmodee?
No, I mean, it's been all positive so far. A bunch of free games up here. Maybe they're getting you hooked on it, and then they'll throw you a curveball.
Yeah, I'm looking on their site now. There is a premium level with it, which is a monthly or a yearly subscription, and it says that allows you unlimited access to their premium games, and it's giving you a list of games here. Actually, list Viticulture, Res Arcana, some of those games as quote-unquote premium games, but unlimited access. I'm not sure exactly.
My wife was playing Viticulture earlier, and we don't have a subscription. I think because you can play like asynchronous games where it'll tell you when it's your turn.
Okay.
So I think without the premium subscription, it's going to limit how many asynchronous games you can have at a time.
Got it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah.
Then we haven't done a lot of digital gaming. I know we did a little bit at the beginning of the pandemic, and we switched over to that for a little while. But since we've been able to get back together, we've kind of gotten away from that. But I wouldn't mind getting on there. I mean, that makes it convenient just from home, just to log in. If I don't want to make the drive, 20 minutes over to your place, then
I was thinking about that more.
Yeah.
About actually getting together and doing some online gaming like that.
Yeah, very cool.
Thanks for the update,
my wife
homie.
was whispering to me. She's saying that without a premium membership, she cannot create a game of Viticulture. Someone else has to have created it.
There you go.
So one of you has to be a member to invite your buddies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think you could be with like a random person around the world, But yeah, if you want your specific friends.
I vote Carlos.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta buy it too.
Carlos can put the bill on that one. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, thanks for the update on this week's gaming.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be as scant next week. Hopefully all my friends come back and play games with me.
I'm counting on it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
need that 10 to 15 minutes of time.
The oath
see?
update. Yeah, next week. You're about to.
Yeah.
He's not the only one that has
back
an
next
issue. You always tell me about that. What, you didn't play anything? No.
I think
play
Mitchell
games
and I
with
need
you
to get
guys.
together for some more Zoom gaming.
Some online. Yeah, some
See,
Zoom.
there's some After the
Hey, I'm
Empire,
down
Red
for it, man.
Rising.
Oh, he's got
I'll get with you.
Anything.
school starting soon, though.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for calling, Mitchell.
Good
Have a
night.
good night.
Exactly, it is. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
That opens up the phone line. 813-618-7099. Rob, take me back to that BGG page. I want to see more about the Crescent, the Crescent City.
I went back and forth through it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it here.
I just hit back.
I don't know how many times back it'll be. Let's
Like
see.
4 or 10.
Yeah.
4 or 10?
It was Crescent
It's
City.
going to be through all these. Yeah, it's going to be way back. Let me try to type it in here.
They want to know what's in the box.
Oh, they want to know what's in the box. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Crescent City Cargo.
Crescent City Cargo. I wanted to see.
No, that's not what's in the box.
No, that's not what's in the box. We're going to unbox one of my hauls here shortly. I'm super excited about this game. We'll get into it just in a minute, though. Take me to the comments. I know you said there's no rating, Robert, but I think the reason there's no rating on Crescent City is because the game hasn't been published yet. I don't think they allow for ratings on that hex to show up until the game's been published, but people can rate it until it gets enough ratings. Does that make sense?
Has a total of 16 ratings. So 8s, mostly 8s, 7, 1 6, some 7s, and a couple 9s.
And what's the first comment there?
Pretty decent pick up and deliver game. Not so much about ships, which you might conclude from the front page of the game box.
Okay, see, but it's a dock, so
Yeah.
I see the dock that's set up there.
We'll pick up
It's
and
more
deliver,
about unloading and loading these ships.
Yeah.
In the harbor. I like the idea of that communal worker system, right? Where it's like you're building this. It's almost like brass kind of a feeling where you're doing things on the board that help other people, but also help you. And that's one of those decisions that I like because they're so crunchy, right? How much should I do that, right?
Yeah.
How much help should I do that? Will I gain enough, or will they gain more?
Here's another comment from a pretty highly rated BGG user. He's got a little paragraph here, but at the end it says, which I caught my eye here, says, additionally, you must decide if you will use the goods for upgrading your company or satisfying a delivery contract. So it sounds like you have a decision to make as you're delivering this stuff. You can use the stuff to either get points towards the end of the game or use it to build up your engine or your company to do better stuff during the game. So that sounds pretty cool. You might want to shift from earlier in the game where you're just building up your engine to later in the game to starting to use that stuff to cash it in for points. So
Sounds like you're stealing the goods.
yeah.
What fell off the truck?
What fell off the truck? Yes.
It says meaningful
Oops.
choices and very quick turns. I really enjoyed Captain of the Gulf, but this one is even better. I guess his prior game was called Captain of the Gulf.
Yeah, Mitchell did say this is a second in his series.
Okay.
Regarding Louisiana.
Huh.
I can't remember what he said. Was the theme that he was going with, but it's all Louisiana based, and I like that.
Cool.
This one sounds interesting, although the pictures didn't really look great because, of course, it was a prototype, not a fully published version. But the things that Mitchell talked about got me curious, and these comments from others confirmed that for me. Like the decisions in there are going to be meaty.
Sounds meaty. Yeah.
I like it. That's Crescent City Cargo
by Jeff Dinger. Yep. Jason Dinger. Sorry,
Jason Dinger on Kickstarter. So check that out. Okay, so we got some comments on the board. What's in the box? We got a box here.
Let's go to the box. That's got
it literally showed up right as we
the doorbell rang just
right before the start of the show.
Before the start of the show. So yeah, we were all sitting here
while he was kicking our butts. Betrayal.
I got to be the bad guy this time. I was the traitor.
Yeah, the traitor.
And it said that I would be a berserker.
I don't want to give away too much.
No, what are you doing?
Don't want to give away spoilers. But yeah,
they don't know anything.
All right, well that's about as far as we go.
The spoiler.
It's a legacy game.
You know how old that game is?
It doesn't matter.
Well, there's still
there's people
there's a time frame.
There's people who have not played Pandemic.
There's a
Legacy.
statutes of limitations. Okay,
Yeah.
if you don't play within a few years, it's on you.
So that means the shelf of shame of people is a statute of limitations.
There's a statute of limitations, right? It's just like with movies.
So you are definitely a 10-time felon right now.
Oh. Ooh, there it is.
Help unwrap.
Hey, Emmy, get the trash.
Oops, can we pop this?
Rallyman.
Don't blow anybody's ears
GT. Bow, bow, bow. Robert can't help himself.
It's like fireworks.
Kid in a candy shop.
Anybody know anything about Rallyman GT?
Yeah. Actually, I'll pull it up here on the BGG also, but good.
Phone line's open, 813-618-7099. If you know something, call in.
Oh, Raphael.
Here's what I know.
Raphael says his diapers.
Diapers in the box.
I'd be happy with
Probably
that.
so with the newborn in the
I
house.
would have been happy with that.
Yeah. 2020 release, Rallyman GT. 1 to 6 players, 45 to 60 minutes. A weight is a 2.21, so pretty light.
And
Excuse me.
the reason what brought me into this or got me thinking about this game was, number one, when it first came out, I couldn't find it anywhere. Right, because I think it was a Kickstarter, then it like died away. But this is like a remake of an older game,
Yep.
Re-implementation of an older game.
Right.
Old though.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up here. Rallyman 2009 was the original Rallyman.
Right.
Yep.
And I couldn't find it then. I couldn't find it. I don't do Kickstarter often, if ever.
Yeah.
So the Kickstarter went through and I didn't find it then. Mr. G says, I like that box cover. It is a nice, I love the artwork on this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Get it nice and tight there. You can see the reflection in the helmet. I love racing games. Robert knows that.
Oh, yeah.
I love racing. I love car racing. It's a big thing I'm into.
Somebody got you into that. Yeah.
Yeah, you got me into NASCAR.
Yeah,
I was doing car racing before that, but NASCAR is what you got me into. I didn't realize that was actually fun doing left-hand turns.
Yeah.
But I like racing. I couldn't find it, and then there was a Kickstarter that just recently came out for some upgraded components.
Some of the cars, yeah.
The metal cars.
Metal cars, yeah.
And got me thinking again. Like, I put it away out of my mind, out of sight, out of mind, but then that got me thinking. I went online, and it was available, so I snagged it up real quick. It looks like a very light and faster car game with dice, right?
Yeah, he's looking with dice.
I'm just letting Robert know, being real.
No.
But I would imagine it's going to be somewhere in between Formula D, which Robert and I have played and enjoyed, and Thunder Alley. Somewhere in between there for its complexity.
Well, I like both of those games. I mean, they're both, even though Formula D is all about dice, the cool mechanic there is the different size dice. You've got the different sides. As you're going up gears, you're rolling bigger and bigger dice, and you have to gear up and get gear down for corners so you don't spin out, hit the walls, things like that. So, yeah, I like that mechanic in that. And then, of course, I like Thunder Alley. That just tends to be a little more strategic, although there's some randomness in there with the card draws. But
and Mr. G says, you guys got me curious about Thunder Alley after you talked about it in the past episode. Yeah, Mr. Jeeves, we did 2 leagues now.
Yeah, we've done two-year leagues.
Two 7-game seasons.
Yes, seasons, yeah.
Leagues, effectively, seasons of racing online on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, 8 players both times, I think. Yeah, we filled it up, played it up to the max. And yeah, that's a great game. We all like it. I think the more we played it, the more we realized that there is some randomness in it. Although, even though there's a fair amount of randomness, the people who have won have tended to pull out and stretch their leads each year. So there's something to the way you race. So
I love the smell of this ink in the morning.
New ink in the morning, fresh off the box. But
Rulebook seems thick, though. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's
okay. So it's sparse.
There's some tracks and stuff. A
lot of imagery,
tiles, and yeah.
Don't forget, phone lines open 813-618-7099. We're looking to hear about what you're gaming while we unbox Rallyman GT. Yeah, there's not a lot of text on each of these pages, so it's a lot more artwork.
Okay. Yeah.
And information in the form of pictures.
So it's not so heavy.
So that's not too concerning.
Yeah.
But this game uses modular boards, so you're going to have these tiles that are going to lay out to create your tracks. So every track will be different in its organization and setup. And you're going to use dice, once the board is laid out, to trace your vehicle's path.
Yeah.
So you'll lay dice down deciding what gear you're going to take that piece of road in. And then there's also red dice, which represent braking. And then there's white dice, which represent coasting. So you're going to use those dice to kind of map out that turn. And then you're going to take all those dice and you're going to chuck them. Well, you decide if you chuck them what they call flat out, meaning you roll them all at one time, or you roll them individually one at a time. That way you can modify using focus tokens to modify those dice as you go, so that you have less chance of spinning out.
Doing something crazy, yeah.
Right. But it gives you more focus tokens when you go flat out. You get these advantage tokens when you go flat out. So it's got this push your luck mechanism of like Formula D.
Yeah.
But it's got a little more complexity than Formula D, which I found it to be just a straight push your luck roll and move game.
Cool.
The cars look nice. Like these pretty cars in here.
Yeah, I'll have to get a camera it's hard to see that up there, but yeah.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Nope, that didn't work.
Black screen. That
didn't work.
Yeah.
You guys are getting inside to the show here. Don't fall, Carlos.
He's jumping up there to adjust the ceiling camera mid-show, but okay. Yeah, there we go.
It's not like anybody called in yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Let's see if that works.
You got a camera from up there?
Look at that.
It's a little better.
So you can see these beautiful cars. So it's a whole stack of them. We got some European-style cars.
I love the delay on this video.
Yeah.
We get to see him standing up now. Look, wow, what a crotch shot.
Thanks, William. So that is Rallyman GT. I'm excited about this one, Robert. I think this one will go well with the kids and us. And that's what I was kind of looking for, something where I can... Oh, we got cars.
You have to upgrade those cars,
Like
though.
little
Little plastic cars. Yeah.
Each car's different.
They're custom.
Oh, there you go.
Got a call coming in.
Bees and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Daniel the Paladin from Christian Adventure Gamer in Warsaw, Indiana.
Solo tonight? No Alex?
Actually, my wife with me. We're actually live streaming right now, getting ready to play Marvel Smash Up, and I seen that you were on. So
Oh, wow.
Give you a shout out.
Very cool.
Thank you for saying happy birthday. Yeah.
Yes. Birthday wishes to Daniel out in Indiana.
Yeah.
I think the big 4-0,
And
right?
congratulations again on the daughter. That's awesome.
Thank you, sir. I got my first daughter. Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
And it's the big 4-0 for you, right?
It is, unfortunately.
Oh, that's not so bad.
I'll be 41 in October, so you and me are match up for a little bit. It's not terrible. Not terrible.
Youngins.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me, wait, you're playing Marvel Smash Up.
Yep. We're watching. We're playing the Smash Up Marvel version. I've had it for a little bit. I played it before. I just never done a live stream of it, so I figured I'd do it tonight since my two middle children are actually in southern Indiana with their grandparents.
Ah, okay.
So
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's always a good feeling. Get rid of some of the kids.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about Marvel Smash Up. I have original Smash
Yeah, we
Up.
played lots of that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So it plays the exact same. Obviously, you just have these different Marvel factions. I liked them. I liked the way that they, the synchrony of them, how they work together. Like right now, I'm playing with the Spider-Man and the Sinister Six. My wife is playing with, I can't remember the name of the group, but it's got.
Diane Ronan.
So she's got the Avengers and then whatever faction Ronan is from.
Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Isn't that where Ronan's out of?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he's from
a
that.
specific
He's from that
faction.
part of that. Yeah.
Yep. Right. So yeah, I like the artwork on it.
Is that Samuel?
I don't know what else to say, really. So, yeah.
That's the Samuel L. Jackson version of Nick Fury?
I think so. I do believe so. He has the Avengers, so I can't.
Is that Bob from Hydra?
Bob.
Yeah.
All right, so it really didn't change anything. It just threw on the flavor of Marvel?
Yep. I actually kind of like it. I think it's a good addition.
Yeah, it looks
Definitely the Nick Fury I'm looking at right now. So
Yeah, I'd like this version. We got it up on BGG. We're kind of flipping through it. I haven't seen it actually really or played it at all. But, I mean, this would be a nice little twist on Smash Up. And we played a fair amount of Smash Up. I'd say back when you were introducing me to games, this was one of the ones we would pull out and play fairly regularly. And, I think this Marvel version looks really, really nice. The artwork is really good. These cards look really, really sharp. The artwork is and the gloss on the cards make them look really good.
Yep, I like AEG. They've done a really good job of most of the games I've ever played. So, like, my favorite game that they've done was the Thunderstone Quest.
Oh, okay.
And so they've really impressed me over the years.
And we've talked about that. I just actually was looking at that at the local game shop over at your turn, a Board Game Cafe the other day. Dan over there's got 2 big boxes of all the Thunderstone Quest stuff. And I keep telling him, I was like, one of these days we just got to break that out and jump into that and start playing.
There's been multiple callers that have talked about
Thunderstone
Quest.
Yeah, if you're looking for deck builders, I hear that's one of the best ones.
Can you mix this version of Smash Up with the original or expansions of Smash Up?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay,
That's
cool.
the best part of it. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So I can have like Pirate Avengers.
Right. Exactly. Or Spider-Man Vampires.
Unicorn Hydra. Yeah.
Where's Deadpool?
Yeah.
There we go. That works about better.
Deadpool pandas.
Because he's always drawing unicorns.
Yeah, unicorns, that's right. Yeah. They should have some synergy there built in, right? Hopefully they got some crossover stuff that works together. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, best wishes on your game tonight. More to your wife than you. Hope she destroys you.
Yep. Going down.
I will.
And that's amazing, man. Getting your wife to jump in on some gaming with you. I've been trying.
Yeah, we're both envious of that. Yeah.
We are. But my wife did say this week, she said,
like I never do it. But
Oh, there she is. Yeah.
did he clean the house? Is that what it was?
no, he acts like I never game with him, but I game quite often.
There we go.
Don't always video.
That's very cool.
He doesn't want to be on the video.
Well, we give you shout outs and props because that's awesome wifey material there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my kids into it. So my 17-year-old, my 15-year-old, I'm pushing them towards it, and they're slowly coming along. So yeah.
So achievement to you.
All right.
My wife did say she wants to play Clue, so I got her to commit. We play Clue.
All right. That's a start. Yeah, it's a start, though.
But she has to play Sagrada after that.
Oh, okay. All right. So step it up a step.
I'm going to like a tit for a tat there.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big jump.
We'll see.
We'll see how that goes. See how
I'll let y'all know how it goes next week.
Come out with black eye or something.
Right. Carlos can't make this week's episode.
He's in intensive
I'd
care.
recommend the Simpsons Clue game.
Which one?
Simpsons.
Oh,
The
okay.
Simpsons Clue game.
I haven't heard of that one, but
The kids would love that.
That's my favorite Clue version.
I'm going to do it. Here, Amazon.com. Here we go.
Here we go. Again.
Simpsons Clue. Hopefully it's still in print, you know. Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Tell her it's a pre-order.
I'm sure it's still print.
Well, thank you all for the call. We appreciate you. Happy birthday, and good luck tonight in your game and your live stream, folks. Check them out on the Christian Adventure Gamer on YouTube.
And let us know next week how it went.
All right, thanks.
Take care,
Thanks for
y'all.
calling in. Good night.
Yep, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Daniel Cervantes, Christian Adventure Gamer.
Yeah, very cool.
He's got his wife on board playing games. That's cool to hear. I want to hear more of that. Phone line is back open.
Yeah, back to us. There we are.
There we go. Phone line is back open.
Yeah.
Robert, while you're on the computer, pull up Amazon.com. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to put
I'm
that
doing it
purchase
on my
in.
tablet.
Actually, I don't see it in print.
No.
You can only only eBay's coming up.
There was another version of Clue. I just
Robert, didn't
heard
you
about
say
it.
that Clue got updated? Like the rules are...
Yeah, my daughter had played not too long ago, and her and a friend of hers and my son played, and I didn't play. I came in as they were finishing up, but the rules are different than the Clue I played in my youth. I don't recall. It's been about 2 years ago that they were playing, or a year and a half ago.
Do you remember this episode of Clue, Emmy?
Well, she doesn't remember she doesn't know what the old Clue was like, so she wouldn't be able to compare it. But
do you know who the friend might have been?
it was Livy, your friend Livy. You and Arby and Livy had played, or were talking about playing or something, and we were talking about the rules, and I was like, oh yeah, I know this game. You do this, you do that. You're like, no, Dad, that's not what you do. And I was like, no, that's what you do. I played Clue
You're old,
for
Dad.
years
No.
when I was a kid, and you're like, no, you don't have that mechanic at all anymore. I was like, oh, well, that's definitely different than the Clue I played. So
Maybe I need to get an updated version of Clue, because the one in the garage is like from the 80s that my wife brought from her childhood home.
She might not like it though. If you get a new version, she might not.
I just don't want to play the old one, man. That roll and move
You know what?
garbage.
You got to let her play her version so you can play that.
If anybody knows the answer out there, call in 813-618-7099. Has there been an update to Clue? Are we missing something? Is this going to be an experience that I will not hate when I play with my wife? Because if I play Clue with her, she's committed to play Sagrada, which I'm excited about.
yeah.
That was one of my hauls from last week.
And I was just looking. I had heard. I don't remember where I heard it. If it was a Dice Tower or something I was watching on the YouTubes this last week. Somebody was talking about their favorite version of Clue was Clue Museum Caper, and I had never heard of that before. It says printed in 1991. I understand it's hard to get, but I just pulled it up here. It's a semi-cooperative version of Clue. It says here in the explanation that it pits the thief against the rest of the players. And so there's one person that's playing a thief that's running around collecting, I think it's art. They're stealing art from an art museum, and it's hidden movement, and all the other players are trying to find where the thief is.
So one versus many hidden movement?
Yep. And they said that if you're ever going to play Clue, this is the version to play. This is the most gamery version. And I had never heard of it before. I gotta get on the Amazon and look and see if this is, or maybe the eBay or somewhere.
Mr. G says, I played the Star Wars Clue. It was awful. Lazy rules writing.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That's my worry, man. I committed to... I told my wife, yes, we will play Clue, but I'm just so worried about the
It probably doesn't hold up. Yeah.
It could have been worse. It could have been Monopoly. It could have been Monopoly.
Hey, everybody starts somewhere, so I'm not going to try to poo-poo any of those old games. I grew up on Monopoly and Clue and Risk and all that good stuff. So
I don't mind Risk so much.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I don't know. The roll and move stuff really drives me nuts.
I have never played Monopoly or Risk.
Because you have a good dad.
Yeah. I got you straight into the modern hobby board gaming. So
He picked up Monopoly. He's like, "What's this garbage?"
Yeah.
No.
No.
My kids have mentioned that they've gone over to friends' homes and played some of the legacy games, not legacy like what we're used to, right? I'm using the term legacy as an old.
Oh, okay. Classic
games.
Classic games, yeah.
You know, like Candyland and stuff.
Sure.
And they're like, how come we never play these? And I'm like,
well, I got a shelf of Candyland. I know all my kids grew up on Candyland and Shoots and Ladders. Yeah, I mean, we started with that with them when they were real little, but
and then I got a hold of you.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we ramped it up from there. But yeah, even my youngest though, I mean, Ian has played a ton of Candyland. That's one of his favorite games for a long time. So he's 9 years old now. But yeah, since he's been about 4 or 5 years old, we introduced him to that. We played plenty of Candyland, Shoots and Landers. What's the other ones he likes? We've got a shelf at home on the Calyx that's just those games. Ants in the Bed or Bed. Monkeys on the Bed. That was it. Monkeys on the Bed. So these little Pop the Pig is one of his favorites.
Oh God, Robert, these all sound horrible. Now I do have some of those games, but I used them as for like lower shelf games,
firewood,
as a way for my kids to grab something and play with. If they broke it, I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Board game battles. Rob played Shoots and Ladders, but it has dice.
Oh,
Shoots and Ladders
no, it has a spinner.
It's a spinner.
Has a spinner.
Even worse.
Dice. Yeah, spinner. So
what Rob does for his children.
You can strategically spin that spinner. Now, come on, if you get that right, you'd hit those sixes every time.
We now know why he hates dice. He's been traumatized as a young child.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, that was our conversation on Clue. I don't know where that came from.
No, that's all right. That's why we're here to chat about stuff. So
these tiles are looking gorgeous. These are huge hexagonal tiles, two-sided tiles. And I think it represents dry conditions and wet conditions, is what I was reading in the rule book.
Or even hexagonal.
Hexagonal?
Hexagonal, but
English is not my first
What's
language.
that call-in number?
813-618-7099. Save us.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep talking about Monopoly and the Clue.
Oh, God, no, save us. No.
We did have our first, or our third board game podcast go up.
Yeah, last week.
I'm noticing on the podcast stats that people are actually downloading our podcast and listening to the audio
version. Okay.
So
cool.
I'm really hoping that somebody's getting something out of it. And
good.
Maybe they'll contact us or join us on the channel to let us know that's how they found us.
Yeah, cool.
Because the podcast we're doing, even though we're recording video, it's mainly in audio format.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get that out on Sundays this past Sunday.
We went up a day late or something this last week.
Because the day we went to record was the day my wife came home from the hospital, and that evening didn't go great. So we ended up having to push the recording back to Sunday, and I published it, I think it was Monday morning.
Okay.
When I published that podcast.
Trying to get it out on Sunday, so we were a little late on that one. But, I mean...
I apologize. Yeah. I'll do better.
Yeah, do better. Yeah.
Bad,
Carlos.
Shame.
Bad, Carlos. Shame. Ring the bell.
Have you guys subscribed to the podcast on any of your podcast systems?
What's a podcast?
Oh, wow.
What's a podcast?
I can't even with you.
Yeah. No. That's what happens when you get over 45. You just...
just wait, Daniel.
Yeah.
He's too busy listening and watching other videos.
Yeah, I do all my stuff on YouTube. There's plenty of content on YouTube to keep me busy. Yeah.
All right, well... William, what have you been up to game-wise? Talk to the folks.
I lead a boring life.
Yeah, not much. Yeah, digital gaming.
No digital gaming even.
I mean, if I digital game, it's not really board games. If I'm going to sacrifice my time to do that, I'm going to play other video games.
Well, it doesn't have to be board game video games. I mean, just anything.
I mean, if I have some time, I usually turn on Total War series.
Okay.
Strategy game. You know that. I got Rome Total War. I got Shogun Total War. I got Empire Total War.
Anything you've done this last week?
Besides playing that and reading the rules to Tortuga 2199, that's about it.
I actually got a message from a friend of ours, Ed Ward. Not Edward, but Ed. Last name Ward.
Wow.
Remember he was our X-Wing friend?
Yeah.
We used to play X-Wing back in the day. He said he just got his copy of Tortuga 20 whatever.
2199.
That's the one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And is asking about getting a game day set up so we can record it and stream it. So I told him that you also have a copy and that, yes, that's something I know you'd be happy to do.
I think you might like it. The simple fact that it's a deck builder with conflict. You can attack each other with your cards. So you might enjoy that aspect. I mean, they're space pirates, so why not, right?
Yeah.
So you can hunt monsters. You can build up your. It's a deck builder set collection. You can control territory on the board, on the map, things of that nature. I think it's just first person to 15 points is what it is. So far as when I read the rules,
Anything in the rules? Any feedback on the way the rules are written? Review the rules for us. What do you think?
I would say the rules are pretty much straightforward. It's a little finicky with certain things. The monsters don't. The only minis are the ships, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The monsters are represented by little cardboard chits on the board. But once you find them, so you have to search for them first. So they're all hidden face down. So you reveal it, and only you can see it. And then you put it face back down, and then you can look to the card deck and say, okay, so this is what this one does. And you just put the cards back down, so the cards are all faced up, so you know what you need to do in order to capture it.
Does everybody else know what the monster is now?
No, not
Nice.
yet. So only you. And you cannot fight the monster unless you scout it first. So you can't just say, oh, I think I got like 15 movement points. I can go for the monster right now. I know that the only card in there the most you need is 11. No, you can't do that. You have to scout it first. It's a specific rule in the game for that.
What's your thought on how the rule book is formatted, produced?
There's a lot of useless space, I would say.
I see cubes. There's cubes in it.
Yeah, all the hexes have these little spots for cubes.
I do not have the cubes for the game.
No.
Because of the Kickstarter version. I have little turrets. Like little small colored turrets.
The turrets take
Right.
the place of the cubes?
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
So they just represent you controlling a certain port of the hexagonal tile. If someone attacks you and you own it, you get extra defense. So yeah, there's a picture of the turret next to the picture of a cube. That's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
But if you capture the monster, the monster becomes a card in your deck, and you can choose to either continue to use it for its special powers, or you can sacrifice it and get the point value.
That's right, because this is a deck builder.
Right, so you can get the point value. I think it's up to 1 through 4 points on the card. So obviously, the more stronger the card, the better the point value. But
let's make it happen. Let's get this one. Get that rule set done. Let's pick a day, like a Saturday, and let's get this thing to the table and play it on recording live stream.
The minis that you see are accurate so far.
Okay. Yeah, they look pretty good. They, like I said, not a lot of minis, just the ships, but they
It's
look
really
pretty
just the
nice.
ships, yeah. And they just represent where you're on the board.
It says about 60 to 90 minutes, 2 to 4 players, weight's a 2.47. They got a 7.5 rating, a 7.5 rating on the BGG. Designers Michael Loiko and Dennis
Hit those comments.
Plastinin. So
Hit those comments. Let's take
comments,
a peek. Yeah.
I will say
104 comments.
It's always fun looking at the comments. I like looking at the bookends, like the best, the top ones,
one
and then the bottom ones.
There have been some YouTube videos on this game that have been kind of hit or miss. I will say that. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it.
This first one here says, not bad, but I suspect replayability will be low. So
Check out the ones.
Remember, the one says, most terrible deck building game ever. Also a terrible production. So, okay.
Tell us how you really feel, the Gordon.
It's got 2 1s. Let's jump to the other end. It's got 28 10s. So that's pretty good. Let's see if there's any comments there.
Some Russian comments. So Russian bots love this one.
Russia, Spain, but yeah, nobody's saying anything hardly. It's a really good game. I get the extension too, and it's a good experience. I love this game. Somebody else said this game is brilliant, so much better than I could have ever expected. Cannot wait to get to 3, 4, or 5 player game.
Oh wow! So he only played it at 2-player.
Yeah, not too much. Why he likes it there, but great deck builder and our control game.
Area.
No, they left an A off the end. It says R, but area control.
Maybe he was going for the pirate theme.
Our control game.
Ships are beautiful and massive. Well, cool.
You actually could probably paint them.
All right, check out like a 7. What's a 7 say?
7. All right, let's see.
This
what
might be
7
more
says.
meaty, substantive comments.
7. There's 62 7 ratings. Lots of Chinese. Here we are. Solid game with interesting Euro mechanics, but direct interaction too. The nature of the interaction can disrupt the end game and provoke king making or decide the game, which can feel a bit frustrating. Only recommended to Euro lovers that accept this destructive interaction. Oh, so it's Euro, but you can take somebody down. That's an interesting combination.
I like that.
It might be a bit too long, but the deck building is very powerful, and the game keeps you focused. Interesting decisions and some tension.
Okay, good. Thanks for going through those comments. I like reading the comments on the BGGs from the people directly, not just looking at the rating, just kind of see where the rating came from.
Interesting, yeah. You have to give it a shot.
Tortuga 2199.
21.99.
2199. Space Pirates, effectively.
Yeah, correct.
813-618-7099 is the phone number. Hey, share with your friends. Let your friends know what we've been up to here on this channel. The goal of being an outlet for the community to share what they've been doing gaming-wise, in hopes that we can continue to receive more of the contribution from the community into this conversation. So be sure you're sharing this Thursdays. I know I was late today to get this one out and shared. We were busy playing Betrayal.
Yeah.
Which does impact how many people view.
Got to get our gaming on, but yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Gaming's been light, so I was excited to get Betrayal to the table.
Yeah,
Right.
I haven't played much this week, so.
It'll turn around. A couple more
It's
months.
summer. Summer's rough because people are off doing stuff. Like
Well-
you heard Mitchell. He's kind of sad today because his gaming buddy's out of town.
My gaming friend left.
My friends.
I agree. That would stink, man. You're used to a certain cadence of gaming and have that disrupted.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens during the summer. Maybe once we get out of the summer, well, people will be more at home, less tired from extracurricular activities, and more willing to join in this conversation.
Well, I don't know. I'm worried about that because people go back to work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can touch on, we finished up Cantaloupe. I don't want to get into all the details. We're going to save a little bit for our podcast we'll be filming or taping after this, and then that'll hopefully come out on Sunday. But we finished up, we played, I mentioned this game. This is they say it's compared to a 1980s style computer point-and-click adventure, like Monkey Island is the one they use in the book, although they say they don't want to use the names. They don't want to get in trouble for using it, so it's everyone's favorite, what's his, Monkey Adventure or something. But anyway, it's a fun little game. It's a cooperative. You can play it. It says 1 to 4 players. I don't know why there really would be a limit on the number of players. It's really just kind of a game that you're going through, a book that you're going through. You're making some decisions. You're combining different items.
Hold on, I want to hear from the Emster over
so
here.
I'm going to throw it to her in just a second.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to do.
I was like,
but I
yeah.
was just giving some background first. But we finished it up, and we took about 7 hours. It advertises it's about 5 to 6 hours. So we were a little on the long side. I know I gave my opinions on it last week. But what did again, without going into a whole bunch of depth, what did you think?
Go into depth.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun. I think it took longer for us to do it, though, because we both kind of are that whole, like, overthinker kind of thing. So we sat there and we were like, what do we do now? It was like the most simple thing to do. It's like, just do this and this. It's like,
Wow.
oh, okay.
There were
Anti-AP game.
There were a few things in there though we would have never figured out. We said that afterwards, and we've played some escape room games and things like that, and we've run into that before. I mean, where there's things you're just not going to figure out. And so I mentioned on the last show or on the podcast maybe that we kind of got over that as we went. At the beginning, we were very reluctant to use the hints in the back of the book because there's a hint key in the back where if you get stuck on something, it gives you a first clue and then a second clue and then the solution. And I'm used to the escape room games that where you're timed or you're penalized for taking hints or whatever. This one doesn't do that. So I think as we kind of learned that and we freed ourselves up a little bit more, it made the game more enjoyable. Where we were like, we're stuck. All right, let's get a hint. Or we're stuck again. Let's get a hint. So before we were kind of beating our heads. We'd look at each other for 10 minutes straight, be like, all right, I cannot figure out what the heck we're supposed to do here. But yeah, I mean, what did you think? I mean, you've played some of the Unlock games that we've done before, and those are on an app. This one doesn't have an app or anything. This one you're just going through. There's as you can see here in some of the pictures, there's this red film. It's the old, you put the film over the writing and it filters out the red and you can read the black text underneath. Although Emmy squinted real hard and would try to read it.
I didn't squint. It wasn't hard to read.
What's the name of that knot that like the easiest answer is usually the right answer, right? There was that
Whatever the
knot
rule
that
is,
was tied up and they couldn't figure out how to untie it, and someone came up with a sword and just
It was Alexander the Great.
right.
Oh yeah.
And that's what it sounds like. Y'all are thinking it's way more complicated than it is, but it was probably the easiest answer would have been the best answer.
In some cases, there was a couple of things where they hide stuff, and there's a lot of having to look at the picture. There's some components that you get as you go along that sometimes you have to study the component, and there's something hidden in there. But
Yeah, I liked it a lot, but like there was also one of the things I really liked about the hints was if you went into the back of the book, it was like it told you like a little thing, or like you could just go over the very top. It would be like, I don't know what to do in this room, and then you'd be, oh well, it's obviously something in this room, and you didn't even have to go to like the first hint or the second hint. You would just know, okay, this is kind of get you back on
Starts to
track a little
guide you.
bit. And then if you still don't get it, you can go look at the other hints and everything. But it's not something where it's just like, here's the answer. It's like, look this way.
So the hints start with just like a light hint.
Right.
And then it gets a deeper and deeper answer to it.
Mm-hmm. And then it goes like there's like a first like little description, then there's the first hint, second hint, and then solution. And it was like, usually we would look at like the description and then like the first hint, and then we'd have it down and we'd be like, oh, this is what we were supposed to do. And we didn't have to go to the second hint or last
But sometimes
hint.
you just don't know where you're supposed to be because you're flipping between these pages back and forth to these different locations. And sometimes you'll hit a dead end and the game intends you to be at a dead end. And then they intend to have you take something you found and go back. But we got another call coming in.
Beans and Nice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Jill Prudhomme. Do you recognize the name?
I do. The last name, for sure. How are you?
So, I'm all right. I'm calling to join in on the laughter about my husband.
Oh, okay. Well, that's always,
Mitchell Prudhomme.
that's always welcome. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so your joke was that everyone has left for the summer, and you were like, oh, wow, boo-hoo. And I have to say, I think that all the time about Mitchell because he's always like, oh, I tried to get a group together and nobody could come. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, thanks, wifey.
Wow.
He does not like solo games.
Oh, yeah.
Neither do I. That's a sad song for him there.
I think the game that I'm getting you probably will like, solo game.
I'm not a huge solo gamer. Now, has he been successful in getting you into any gaming with him?
Oh, well, yeah. See, I like a lot of the games he gets. I'm obsessed with Terraforming Mars.
Oh,
me too.
God, then that's it.
Yeah,
We don't have to go anywhere else.
We're done.
Wait.
We can do this till
hold on.
we die.
Hold on. Oh, he ran away. I guess I was too close and it was some feedback. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
He keeps listening. Mitch, what games do I really like? Oh, I like Catan.
Okay.
And Ticket to Ride, but nobody will play with me.
Yeah, that's not a favorite.
I see
color.
that.
Wait, I found our board game wall, so I can just look at these. I like Viticulture. That was the one he was showing you. I was
that's a great
playing
one.
on the thing earlier.
Yeah.
Orleans. Okay.
Oh,
Orleans.
I love that game.
Orleans?
Orleans,
Yes,
yeah.
Oh, Orleans. I'm from the South.
Yeah, there you go.
They're from Louisiana. I think they understand it better than I do.
Yeah.
No, so we bought the expansions that came with it because 2 of the expansions, I think, are just solo versions. So I was so excited for
Right.
that. And it was really funny because for once a board game came in the mail for me. And that was like a big deal because Mitch gets like 5 a week.
Very
I'm like,
cool.
I'm tired of the Amazon packages going to him.
Cool.
Slam
Yeah.
the package on the ground, like, not for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I bought the solo version for me, and I was sitting at the table playing happily, and he's just like, I want to play a game. I'm like, sorry, I got the solo version.
There's also a cooperative version of the game where everybody's playing against the board. Have you tried that? Have you seen that one?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
And I think it was because when I play games, I actually pick them up properly. So I don't leave them on the table. So I didn't leave it open for him to play.
Okay.
I'm hearing a lot of jabs there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's...
I mean, it's a lot of
That's
jabs
what
going
happens,
on.
yeah.
Wow.
Y'all started it.
Yeah, they
Y'all
did.
totally
Yeah.
started it, and I was like, oh, I will continue this.
Just got to join in a little. Yeah, that's fine.
But you know what it is? It's Mitchell's sass, which I love. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I
Yeah.
love his sass, which is what it just endears me to his channel, his Board Game Battles channel.
Board game battles, yeah.
The last one, one of the games I never even played. The last few, some of the games I've never even played.
Yeah.
But it's that fun back and forth jabbing that him and his buddies do. That it just makes it feel like, okay, I want to get in on the jabs. Like, I want to throw some jabs in there on Mitchell.
It reminds me of our board games. I mean, when we're all sitting around, we're all good friends, and most of them in a
Jabbing
group.
at each
Yeah,
other.
we're just poking at each other in a fun time. We spend half the time playing the game and half the time messing with each other. So
A lot of foul
Maybe
language.
I'm being protective. Like, no one can make fun of my husband except me. I don't know.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
no, the reason I did call in was because I wanted to talk about solo games.
Okay.
Cool.
So Terraforming Mars, Viticulture, they have solo versions. Orleans has a solo version. So someone said they didn't like solo versions. Who was that?
Carlos.
Okay, so
Carla, why not?
I don't like even like this stuff, like this YouTube stuff. I don't like doing things on my own. I'm a very social creature.
He's an extrovert. Yeah.
Oh dear! What do you do when your friends go away for vacation?
I ball up in the corner,
fetal position, and cries.
I read a lot of rule books. Now, I did do a solo game and loved it. Like, fell in love with it. Played it multiple times, and I'll recommend it to you now that I think Mitchell owns it.
Arnak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Wait,
the solo gameplay in Lost Ruins of Arnak is legit awesome.
Okay.
The reason I don't like solo games,
because I have no idea what it is.
Oh, okay. So it's a worker placement game, meaning you're going to take your workers, put them in different spots to do stuff.
Yeah.
But the whole theme of the game is you're exploring this island. It's Arnak, and there's ruins on this island. So you're going to gain points for exploring into the jungles to find sites to defeat monsters to gain resources. You're also going to score points when you research on the research track to find information about the island. The higher you go up on the research track, the more points you get, the more resources you get. Then you use all those resources to continue to explore the island, and you spend those resources to explore the island. You spend those resources to keep going up the research track. You're kind of balancing those two areas. And then the third thing you're balancing is deck building. You're buying items and artifacts to go into your deck to help you do all of those other things better. So it's this real balanced game of researching, of exploring and defeating monsters, and of building up your engine with your deck to find the best way to get points. The reason I don't like solo games is because most solo games require a level of work to get the solo bot to do its thing.
Now who's crying?
Let me say, Joe.
Can you put a sound effect for yourself right there?
There you go.
Is that better? See, what happens with me is, I'm like the ADD kid, right? So I know what I'm doing. I'm having fun with my thing. And then, okay, it's time to play the bot, right? And I go to play the bot, and I run through all those steps, make sure I don't mess it up. Then I come back to me, and I completely forgot what I was doing, completely forgot my strategy for the game. What were the things that I was trying to do, right? So if I can find a game that's solo where the bot is so simple that I can still maintain where my headspace was before I started the bot, then I can get into the flow of the game, the enjoyment. Right now, I'm riding with the game, riding with
That's so funny because I'm the exact opposite. When I'm playing a solo game, I know exactly what my next move is. I know where I am in play. I have my workers all set out in front of me. It's the other people when I play with actual people that screw me up. Yeah. And how dare you put a person there?
I love that.
Alexa.
I can agree to that. I can agree with that to a certain extent, for sure. I think that's kind of partially what defines a Eurogamer. The classic term Eurogamer is playing kind of your own game, not a whole lot of interaction, trying to maximize what you're doing, get the most points. That's definitely more my style of game. And then you've got your
Carlos says that ruin it all for you by the time you get back around to your turn.
Yeah, Ameritrash just messing with you, trying to, even if it doesn't help him, sometimes just messing me up is what he's out to do. So yeah, I can agree with that.
Now, how do you do with the bot? Some of these games, the AI or the automa is so extensive in what you have to do. How do you keep track of it and you and not feel like you worked?
Okay, so I'm looking at, I'm back at our board game wall. So the Arlene one, it has all of the steps laid out for you. You can see them clearly. And that's the only thing I don't like about the solo version is that they don't get mixed up. It's the same 15 steps or the same 10 steps in each one that goes against you. I'm thinking of viticulture. You have the cards where you just turn it over and it tells you what that season is for fall and then for winter. I don't find that it complicates it. Also, the cards don't talk like my husband, who mumbles and says wait,
get out of my head.
Anyone does anything else, I have to figure out this. You screwed me up, so I have to redo everything. And I'm like, okay, can you do that inside your head? And then he eventually starts mumbling to himself. And, you try not to fuss because everyone talks to themselves a little bit. But it's,
That's funny.
The cards don't talk.
What I've learned about Mitchell's playstyle is he kind of has that Jedi mind trick thing where he tries to, in his, outside internal dialogue, is using it to change what you're doing, right? To try to drive you in a different direction. Like, oh, I really need to get iron, but maybe he'll next turn. So then it makes me think, I better grab that iron before he does. And then I fall into his trap because he didn't want to go for the iron anyways. He just wanted the wood.
Just messing with you.
Yeah.
So he's messing with you.
And you know what? Now that you say that, when we first got married and we first started collecting board games, we would have conversations like that. Like he would mumble something, I'd be like, "No, don't do that!" Like it would just burst out, and I would be like, "I was going to do that," and he would do it anyway and screw me up because now he knew my game plan.
Yeah.
And it was funny, it was funny. It was just the two of us. But now when there's four of us around the room and I'm really trying to beat them, I can't say anything because I have no poker face. Mitchell knows my gameplay for most games.
Yeah.
So,
don't fall for his Jedi mind tricks.
And Carlos and I are like that. I mean, anytime you game with somebody that much, I mean, we played games before, and we've called out what the next person move was going to be. We're like, I knew you were going to do that, and next time I'll tell you where you're going to go because we just know each other so well with some of these.
But
games.
I don't think I would do that to my wife because at the end of the night,
no, that's dangerous.
I still want to sleep with both eyes closed.
Yeah, exactly.
no. Mitchell's the exact opposite. Mitchell plays to win every single time, and he doesn't care if he leaves me in the dust.
Oh.
Listen, I'm not looking to get choked out in bed in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you gotta
with a pillow.
You gotta live in the same house. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Yeah.
Remember that game?
Joe, had I known you were into gaming, I know you guys were in town that week. I would have pushed more to get you guys over to the house to play because I got boys that are near your kids' ages too.
Well, we had originally planned for everyone to go to your house to play board games, but I'm kind of funny when it comes to board games. I'm not a very social person. It's really easy over the phone and to make it sound. Oh, obviously, I've been saying that. I'm not social. I don't like playing in big groups. I'm like a one and done kind of thing. I play one game and I'm like, all right, y'all are too loud for me. Mitchell's talking in my ear. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm going to go read a book over here. No. And my introverted self in a room full of people will go into the corner and start reading a book on my phone, and I will be there for 3 hours. And Mitchell every now and then will be like, Jill, you want to play something? You want to pick a game? And I'm like, no, I'm in a good part of my book. And he's just like, well, why do you even come? And
you would fit right in with our wives.
Our wives sit in the other room and look at their phones and their
when the wives come over with the kids run around like crazy.
Mitchell,
Robert and I will play games.
I'm sorry, Mitchell. This is the one game you're going to lose in. Look what he's posting.
The wives will go into the living room and just pick up their Kindles and just sit around each other reading their Kindles the whole night. Just kind of sitting in that area. So I guess we're not the only ones. Occasionally,
they talk a little.
They'll chat occasionally, but for the most part, it's just being near each other is enough.
Mitch does not understand that.
No. I don't get it.
Y'all
I don't get it either.
Right next to each other.
I don't get it.
It's a man-woman thing.
Why aren't you talking?
Yeah.
I was like, we were just reading a book. Were you reading the same book? No. I mean,
no, that would be scary if you all read the same book.
Nah, they'll sit out there and it'll be complete silent for 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden one of them will start laughing to show the other one their phone, and they'll both be sitting there dying laughing. I'm sitting there what's happening?
And then they go back to silence.
Exactly.
Right back to quiet. Don't get it. Don't understand it.
Don't feel like you're outside of the norm.
No.
I think that is the norm.
Yeah.
With a bonus of you at least gave us one game.
Oh yeah, at least you played. Yeah, I mean that's I can't get my wife to even get past the rules. I get about halfway through the rules explanation, and she tells me that I drive her crazy by reading her the rules or telling her how to play. So.
Mitchell's asking, when is this going to end? This is a board game show, not a Bash Mitchell show.
No, I'm enjoying this.
Blocking that number from Jill's phone.
Wow. Well,
he's gonna have a lot to share next Thursday.
Yeah. So, I think you're gonna need to have a long talk tonight.
Your time's out. Wait, is the show almost over?
No.
Y'all, you can't.
We don't turn it off. We don't turn it off until
people stop calling.
Yeah. Well, till after
Okay, because
10.
if I hang up, Mitchell's going to call because he's going to want the last word.
Oh, so you want us to wrap it up? Okay.
I guess I need to
So
turn the do not.
Don't block my number. Block his number for the rest of the show.
I already turned on the do not disturb. Like for
there
you
you
are
go.
the last
Oh,
call.
that is the
Jill.
last call of the day.
You are the last call. This is your show
Got
now.
the last word in. Yeah.
Look at me. I'm the captain now. That's Jill. Well, I want to thank you for having the courage to call in.
Awesome.
And that was actually a really good phone call.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
that
we got
was
some
perfect.
comments on here about solo games.
Yeah.
Diego says his first solo game was Red Rising. There's a lot of setup to get that automa going, so he kind of feels the way I do.
Yeah.
And so, Jill, you brought up a good topic.
Yeah.
Don't make that the last time you do that.
Yeah, call in again.
Okay, well, find more solo games for me.
Okay. We'll make a
Try
list.
out Arnak. Tell me what you think. And you know what? It's funny because
Okay,
Jill
so-
made fun of us when Mitch and I tried to figure out how to play on Zoom. I could hear her in the background. I think she even popped in on screen to say, "Are you guys really trying to play a board game over Zoom?"
I was laughing at y'all. Y'all playing Red Rising.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. That was way too much work. That's more work than a solo game. So don't ever complain about having to deal with a solo game.
Yeah, exactly.
That was ridiculous.
Damn, she's all over you
I
now.
beg to differ. Well, I guess that wraps up our time. Thank you, Jill, for your call.
All right. Good night, guys.
Thanks for calling. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I'm glad you called in. Yeah.
I need more wives to call in. That was awesome.
Tell us about the other half, how the other half lives.
It's kind of like when Connor calls in, we get the real story.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's funny is Mitchell doesn't know, but the phone lines have been turned off, so
Oh.
he's gonna have to call in next week to be able to.
He'll be the first one next
to be
week.
able to get his,
as usual.
Yeah. So, folks, that takes us to our 10 o'clock hour, and we're going to
That's
sign off
great.
here. We're going to go record a podcast and post it up for you next Sunday. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends about what we're doing here. Let them know that we're here. We're taking your phone calls, talking about what you're gaming so that you can be a part of the community. Share that with your friends. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm William.
I'm Emmy.
And I don't understand why you do the and I'm William. Like, the last person needs to be the and.
No, I am William.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, so I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
I'm Emmy.
And I'm William.
There you go. He wants the and.
Yeah.
And we're the Beans and Dice Podcast, a podcast about how we game. Thank you for calling. Have a good night. We'll catch you all on the next one.
Night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You still got the cat.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.